Okay, let me start recording. Okay, Xpath selector. Have you done any research about DOM, document object model? Anyone? Yes, no?
Yes, sir, but didn't understand.
Okay. No worries. So to understand a DOM, document object model, I want you to understand, first of all, let me introduce what is HTML. So you have idea about HTML, right? So if anyone is asking you what is an HTML, so even in the interview room, we can answer, we can give 2 points. One point is HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, right? And the second language is, okay, it is a code. It is a code, okay? It is a code in the sense it is a markup you write to create web pages. If you want to design any web page, right, facebook.com or Flipkart, whatever it is, the basic skeleton structure of a web page can be given by HTML, right? Example, okay, let us take the simple example. Okay, so this is a simple HTML script. Okay, let me copy the script in the notepad. Okay, so if you see, now you are in a position to identify the tags, right? So this is HTML tag, this is the body tag, and this is what, this is a kind of h1 tag, and closing, right? Just to save this, okay, I'm just going to save this as desktop. Okay, I'm just saving this as learning.html. Always remember, whenever you are designing a web page by using HTML, right, the extension should be .html. How do you save a Java file? Tell me. You want to save a Java file?
Java.
Java, right? So that is the Java representation, and this is a HTML representation. I am just saving it as learning.html. Okay, I have saved this successfully, right? So I forgot where it is saved. Let me save this again. Let me save this in the desktop. Learning.html. 1 minute, guys. File, save as desktop. Let me save it as a.html. It has been saved successfully in the desktop. So literally I have designed a web page, right? How I confirm the web page has been designed? If I just visit my desktop, okay, and there is something like a now. Okay. I just open this. So you're able to see that this is a simple web page that has been designed by using only one tag, which is h1 tag, right? So don't you think that we are taking help of browser? So which is hosting the HTML code? When I say that HTML code is being hosted by the Google browser, yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Now, internally what is happening is, so you are giving a command to the browser. Okay, let us say that this is your browser or Chrome browser. You are literally telling the Chrome browser to open what? To open the HTML code. Okay, how you are communicating with the Chrome browser? You are just passing the location. You just see this, okay, if you just see this the opened page, okay, you are saying that, okay, there is a protocol, there is a HTML file that is stored in so and so location. So this is the command that you're placing on the Chrome browser, right? And the Chrome browser, what does it do? It will look into this particular location in your hard disk. Okay, now in this case, the Chrome browser is going to act as the file reader, because you are giving a command to the Chrome browser to open the HTML page which is stored in your hard disk. Okay, nothing. Now Chrome browser not doing anything, just reading the file location, just reading the document that is given in the specified file. Okay. After reading it, what the Chrome browser is going to do, this Chrome browser is going to construct a file. For now, we are going to construct a file called document object model. Document object model file. Okay, it will construct this document object model and it will return it to the browser itself. Okay? And the document object model will again be returned it to the browser itself. A simple web page, you are not involving any server, not using any internet connection. Okay, you are just written an HTML script and you just saved it with a dot HTML extension, and you are using the Chrome browser to launch this HTML script, right? And the Chrome browser is going to fetch for this location. Okay, after fetching this, it is going to generate document object model. Okay, what is your actual HTML code? This is our actual HTML code, isn't it? This is our actual HTML code, right? So this is going to get converted into an hierarchy. For now, think it as an hierarchy. A Chrome browser is going to convert this into an hierarchy, right? So it is going to start with the kind of node called root node. Okay, after this, okay, it is going to create what? The first part, which is what? The HTML tag. Inside HTML tag, it is going to travel within the nodes. Okay, for each and every tag, a node will be created. Okay, you have HTML, then you have what? You have the h1 tag, right, and the closing part. So this is the hierarchy. This hierarchy will be given to the the Chrome browser is going to convert the respective HTML code to a model which is called as what? Document object model, DOM. This document object model is going to have a kind of hierarchy that is going to start from the root node, and from the root node it is going to navigate between the HTML tags. For each and every HTML tag, for each and every tag, it is going to represent it as an sub node. Okay, for under the root node there is an HTML tag, and again I missed the body, so this should be the body. This is not h1, this should be the body. Okay, after this h1 tag. Okay, so the way it is getting converted by the browser is called as what? Document object model. The model that is being converted by the Chrome browser again to give it to the browser is called as what? Document object model. See, let us open the same thing. Okay, you are able to see hello world here, right? So if I just inspect this, you see something. Okay, you see something here, right? Elements, right? Elements are like, okay, you see, right? You see HTML, head, body, and HTML, right? Right. So you may think that this is the this is a kind of it looks like HTML, but this is what? This is DOM actually. The thing that you see here is what? Document object model. It is not the script. So if you just select it, the relevant field, relevant locators will get highlighted. Are you able to see? This happens only because of document object model, not because of HTML. You may be thinking like it looks like an HTML code, but you call it as what? You call it as document object model. Right? So this is what happening within the local OS. For example, if you take the same thing, in the from the browser perspective, okay, let us say any website, okay, www.facebook.com. Facebook.com. So Facebook, if you want to open the Facebook, okay, definitely internet connection is required, and you can open this URL. Again, you need to use the browser. For now, I am also using the what? I am just hitting this URL on the Chrome browser. So, what the Chrome browser does usually, it is a kind of protocol. So in the internet world, there is a concept called DNS. Okay, the DNS is nothing but domain namespace. It means it is going to have the list of all the URLs. Okay, it is going to have the list of all URLs. Okay, so the URL that you want to get, okay, the URL that you want to get will be fetched here first. Then the DNS will direct the request to the right server. There will be many servers. There will be millions of servers, but based upon the URL that you are hitting, okay, the respective server will be, the DNS is going to connect your request with the respective server. Let us say that this is server. Okay, this is a server. So these things are happening inside the internet. For now, assume that these things are happening in the internet. This is your local machine. These things are happening inside the internet. And the server, after receiving the request, server will respond, right? For your request, server has to respond. Okay, server, what it will respond? Okay, it is going to respond with the with the DOM object, document object model. Is going to give the document object model. This document object model is like, it is a kind of dynamic pages. Okay, it will be rendered. Okay, it will be received by the Chrome browser and it gets rendered, and the equivalent HTML code will be executed and displayed in the console. Okay, actually the DOM will be stored behind the scenes. Okay, this DOM is going to have the list of all the locators that is required for this facebook.com, the main page, the exact welcome page, right? So this is with respect to the, I mean, if you want to deal with any URLs that requires internet connection, these many things are going to happen behind the scenes. Again, the document object model is something that is running behind the scenes. Those locators will get loaded dynamically. That's why sometimes it takes some time. Really, it is not very not an instant response. You get an instant response. There will be a delay in milliseconds or nanoseconds. Because of the delay, sometimes our Selenium code will not able to locate the right element because there is some delay. That's why in the other class we have used something called the web element wait. Remember why I'm discussing this so far. Just understand these two concepts. First one is, if you are opening an URL with the simple HTML, if it is a simple HTML, right, a simple HTML script, you can open it in the local machine, right? Even in the local machine, the Chrome browser is going to help you to generate DOM. Okay, same thing will happen in the happen for the URLs for such URLs like facebook.com, Flipkart, or whatever it is. So these URLs needs to deal with the internet connection, and the request always goes to a server called DNS server. Don't worry about the DNS server and all the internal things. You do not have to worry about this. We are just trying to stick to the what is the concept of DOM. Behind the scenes, the DOM is coming in the picture. Okay, now you have understand. I think you have understood this. Okay, now you have understood very well what is HTML. HTML always talks about structure and the contents. But when you talk about DOM stands for document object model. It is the browser's in-memory representation of HTML or XML. Okay, I just said no. DOM is a tree-like object model where each HTML element become a node. Okay, so when you take each HTML element, each element will become a node. Each element will act as a node. HTML become a node, body becomes a node, and h1 tag will become a node, like that. Right? It allows JavaScript and automation tools to access and manipulate the pages. Okay, it will be loaded at the runtime based upon the URL. It is not static always. It is dynamic. Okay? The DOM that you get now won't be the same DOM that you get after the next request. For example, if you're hitting the Facebook URL, right? So at this point of time, you get the different version of DOM. But when you hit this URL tomorrow, you get different version of DOM. These DOMs are not static; they are dynamic in nature. Okay. And also, please be informed that it should be loaded completely. I mean, sometimes there will be a delay in loading the DOM pages, not because of our system issues, because of the server issues. So one has to wait for the DOM to load completely to execute the complete functional testing. Okay, this is how the visualization document. Okay, you have a document. Okay, this is the root node, HTML, body, h1. Okay, have you understood so far what is DOM? Hello, it's a simple explanation that I can give.
Yes, sir.
We can even complicate this thing. There are so many things to learn the DOM, but for now, this idea is more than enough. This is what the DOM is. If I open any web page, for instance, okay, let me open Google here. Now you tell me what is this HTML or is it DOM? Okay, it is taking some time to get loaded, right? So when I say www.google.com, okay, the request goes to the DNS server. DNS will direct the URL to the right server to establish the connection, right? When I just click on enter button, these many things are happening behind the scenes, and you get the Google screen in the console, right? And when you just do the inspect, the things that you see here, okay, the things that you see here is not the actual HTML. This is what? This is DOM. Because when you just over your mouse here, you get to see that the respective locators are getting highlighted. Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Are you getting this?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now let me close this. You know what is XML? Again, XML. Okay, we have understood about DM. Okay, so far something we have understood about what is DM, and something we have understood about what is HTML. Okay. Now what is XML? Okay. XML stands for extensible markup language. It is just a like kind of scripting language. Okay. But the basic knowledge, when someone is asking you what is XML, right? You can simply say that it is derived from XML language. Whenever you are using an XPath, for now, let me say that XPath is nothing but the address of any element. XPath is nothing but the address of any element. Internally, this XPath uses the concept of what? XML. So this X stands for XML path. Internally, it uses some concepts, some rules and regulations, some guidelines, okay, which are related to XML. XPath uses XML protocols or XML rules and XML regulations, XML guidelines. In shortcut, we call it as what? In shortcut, we call it as XPath. What is XPath? It is an address of an element. Okay, any element. Okay, if you open the Google page, if you open any Facebook page, any element, if you want to find the address of any element, we have other locators also. I'm not denying it, but XPath is the one of the not one of the option. It is the most used option in the software system, Selenium testing. Again, the XPath is categorized into what? Two types. One is absolute path. Second one is relative path. Let us understand about XPath. How do you locate an element using the XPath? Okay, this locating an element using XPath is very simple. First of all, let us understand how it can be done automatically. Then we will understand how it can be done manually. For this, let us depend upon this website, or else we have another website on no commerce. You open Google Chrome. We will stick to this website. Not demo, I think. Okay, let me run this. Okay, so let us stick to this website, nocommerce.com. Okay, so if you want to identify any element, we need to inspect it first. Okay, the DOM gets open, right? For example, let us locate some new element like, okay, let us locate this electronics. Okay, you see it, right? Electronics. I just want to locate this element, electronics. So this electronics, let me go back 1 minute. Okay, year. Okay, so this one is getting highlighted, and let us try to identify this instead of picture. Let us try to identify this. Okay, okay. Let me right click here and copy. Here you see a two path, right? One is copy Xpath and copy full Xpath. So just copy full Xpath. You see a kind of structure like this. Okay, so you see what? You see the DOM hierarchy. The complete DOM document object model hierarchy starting from the root node, right? And followed by, and it gets navigated to each and every node until it finds the exact element, right? Absolute path is nothing but giving the full path of the document object model. Okay, inside HTML it is finding the body, and again the div the tag name is div. It is taking the sixth div tag, and inside that it is taking the third div tag. Inside that there is another div tag, is another div tag, another div tag, another one. Okay, and if it has to locate the right element, it has to navigate through all these root nodes. Okay, and this is one of the way to identify the element. Okay, for now we will keep it very simple. Let us try to do the identification for the basic one for the understanding purpose. Inspect. Let us identify the search box. This one is getting highlighted. So let me copy the full XPath. Full XPath is nothing but what? When I say full XPath, the absolute XPath is also called as full XPath. So just copy that full XPath. Copying that full XPath is easy using the dev tools. Directly you just right click here and you hit on copy, and you find lot of options. Under that you just copy what? You will just copy the full XPath. After copying it, if I ever have to use it in my code, it is very simple, right? So typically how we use web element wb equal to, or element equal to wb dot find element by dot xpath. Okay, it is accepting, in the inside this xpath you can pass it accepts two paths. Okay, either you can use the full path or the absolute path or the relative path. Okay, so based upon my explanation, this should work, right? After the identification, you have to do what? Element dot send keys, say something like abc. This is giving error. Okay, let me run this. Opening. Let's see if it is getting located. So I have just passed the abc key here in the search bar. Still running. It is taking a lot of time. Okay, it should work. Meanwhile, what we do is let us try to understand the relative XPath. Okay, if you want to apply the same thing for the relative XPath, see it is working now. ABC, right? For the relative XPath, okay, same thing. You just right click here and you just copy and copy just XPath. Let's see what is copied. You see, you see something here. Okay, don't worry about the syntax. Okay, automatically the relative XPath is also getting copied. It is a shorter form of absolute. If you see the absolute or complete XPath, it is very much larger. It is very much smaller. Okay? This is an identity which is called as the relative XPath, and you can also use this relative XPath to locate the element. Instead of passing this as an argument, I can pass the shortcut version, which is what this one. Okay, and let me run this again. We'll understand the syntax also. Okay, don't worry, we will understand the syntax also, and we'll see this is also working now. Right. For now, tell me one thing. Have you understand how to fetch the absolute XPath and how to fetch the relative XPath or partial XPath? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Just right clicking. It is an automatic option. You do not have to worry. You don't have to start from the hierarchy. Okay, it is an automatic option. Okay. Now the next topic is attributes will be there in the relative XPath. For example, see, if you take a relative XPath, forget about the absolute one. If you take the relative XPath, okay, you get to see this is an attribute, right? This is an attribute name. This is an attribute value. Yes or no? Hello.
Yes, sir.
There is attribute and sometimes here you are finding a kind of star, right? Okay, it is showing up something star after the double forward slash. You see star. Star is nothing but the tag name is an option. Okay, you can use this tag name if you want. If you want, you can use the direct tag name. If you don't like to use the tag name, you can represent the tag name with the star. So the question is how we can do this manually. That also we'll understand. Okay, so there are some situations where you have to write your own XPath. Okay, and in future, okay, sometimes we have to write our own XPath in the complex web pages. So since we are working with simple web pages, we do not have any issues. But when we are working with complex web pages, we have issues. Okay. Now the most popular interview question is most of the time we prefer XPath. Okay, it will jump directly to the attribute as the related XPath. It will jump directly to the attribute as the attributes will be changed. Can someone tell me by looking at this? Okay, just see these two. Which one is the most preferable? Do you think using this is an advantage or using this is an advantage? And if you think any one of the usage is an advantage, why? Can you answer it? Why? Anyone? Interview question, they could ask you which one is good. What is it? I mean, which one is good to use? Is it absolute or is it relative? Relative. And if you say absolute,
Relative.
why relative? Any version you have?
We can write on our own. That's
Okay, that is
from
one.
which we
Yeah, that is one good valid point. Is there any other thing that you can see from from absolute?
Instead of using all the locators, you can directly locate that ID.
Okay, that is also a valid point. Okay.
length is small.
Length is more. Okay, length is small, and you said the length is small. Okay, sometimes see, remember, sometimes there will be a situation where you find the element within the first tag. There are chances, no? Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes this length becomes very less. Absolute path length of the absolute path will become much lesser than the relative path. So you cannot say length. Length you cannot say the related path is much more advantageous than absolute path because of the length. That point is invalid. I don't agree with that. I will tell you why it is. So far good. Your understanding is very good. I will tell you. Okay. Now see, robustness. The main reason, first reason, whenever they are giving you this question in interview, your first reason is absolute path is very fragile. Fragile means what? Anyone know? What is the meaning of fragile? Weak, no? Fragile is very weak, right? Very weak. Why they are saying it very weak? Very simple example I am giving it to you. Okay, very basic understanding about a web page. I said no, this DOM is loaded in the runtime, yes or no? So whenever the developers, the front-end developers, they create an HTML page, right? So they have a lot of tags, right? This is an HTML. Okay, they have, let us say they have div tag here, okay, and they have an input tag here. Okay, they have image tag here. Okay, and let us say that you want to locate something like the login page, or you want to click on the login button. Very simple example. You want to click on the login button. Today, if you see the many website, when it keeps on getting updated, you might see the login button here today. After few days, you may be seeing it here. There will be few changes here and there. Do you agree with that? You don't see the elements exactly at the same place most of the time. If you see updates, they do a lot of changes. Okay, they do a lot of replacement. The button that the element that you see here today might not be here today. Tomorrow, I mean tomorrow it might be here. Due to these changes, for example, let us say that you are identifying one of the element in between div and input tag. So let us say the element is here in between div and input tag. If I ask you write the absolute path, it is easy for you to write it. So you would start with HTML and you point it to div. From div you directly get that element. Yes or no? Hello? From here you get it here, right? By using absolute path. But there is no guarantee that this element would be here tomorrow. Tomorrow they give some change, and they keep changing this element, right? The place of the element might be shifted from here to here because of the web page changes. So for like I just said, login button was here yesterday. Today it might be here. Because of that, the identity, the respective element will be placed in a different DOM hierarchy. Do you agree with that? Hello? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So today it will be here, tomorrow it will be here. Can you depend on absolute path here? You cannot depend on absolute path because it is dynamic. Web pages are almost dynamic in nature. That's why weak means what? This will break, fragile. It can be broken very easily. Your test case will not run. That is the definition of this. Okay? Even a small change in the page layout or DOM structure can break it. But absolute path is not like that, because always remember whenever there is an attribute name given, the attribute value will 100% will never change. Most of the time. You might be seeing some changes in the font sizes. Okay. There will be changes in font size, but once a particular name is assigned, okay, once you are following a type of naming convention, those names won't change, but you can see the changes in their font sizes, but not the actual names. Hello, are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Attribute names and the value will remain same, but their locations might change. That's why you cannot depend on absolute path. You can depend on relative path. That's why they say that Xpath is more preferable than absolute path, because it works even if the structure changes. Right? Maintainability. When I talk about maintainability, relative Xpaths are easier to read, modify, and maintain. Okay, this is very simple. The script becomes cleaner and more, because you find it very easy to identify, right? In related Xpath. Speed of writing. Okay, so this is the simple syntax. Okay, double forward slashes. You just choose the tag name within the square brackets. You just add @ symbol followed by the attribute name and the respective attribute value. Done. Xpath is done. You can remember it, right? Double forward slash tag name, right? Open brackets, attribute name and the value. Prefix this attribute name with the @ symbol. And you have an option to use the contains method, starts with method. We are going to see this after some time. Okay, contains method, starts with method, text method. We'll see this. Supports dynamic elements. Okay, web pages with dynamic elements benefit from related Xpath, because web pages are designed to not to be static. They keep changing very often. How many of you realize that WhatsApp keeps changing once in every month. So, without our knowledge, we are able to see some changes, and sometimes we don't even identify that the changes are already applicable. Have you observed that? One or the other future will come.
Yes, sir.
Even in the
Mainly
Facebook.
status button.
Even in status, okay. Even like we see a lot of we witness a lot of benefits, but we really don't understand. Okay, sometimes we get irritated. Sometimes we are happy with the older versions, not the newer versions. Things happen like that based upon the recommendation suggestions. They keep migrating from older to new years. If it is possible, they will go back to the previous version also. This happens only when the web pages are dynamic in nature, right? So you can avoid relying on exact position and instead using meaningless attributes. Okay, now the question is how to generate relative XPath manually. Very simple. This is the simple syntax. Let us go by the syntax. Anyone can generate. Okay. Let me open this is syntax. Based upon this syntax, you will identify one element. Okay. Just stick to this. Let us identify this electronic button. Okay. This is getting highlighted. Okay. I do not want to copy directly automatically. I do not want to copy XPath. Instead, I will copy element because we want to create it manually. Okay. Now tell me what could be the tag name?
A.
A, no? We'll just replace with the A. Okay. What could be the attribute name?
Title.
Title, good. Title, attribute name. Good, good. Title. So before this title, we have to append what? At the rate symbol. Yes or no? Right?
Yes, sir.
Equal to value. Right? So you have this value in the double quotes. Okay, for the to skip the regular expressions, I am taking this single quotes. Direct. Done. So this is the attribute. Let us see whether this is working or not. What we have just done, okay, we have just located this electronics element, web element, right? It is clickable or it is send case. By nature, clickable, right? So how I can write the code, okay, I can remove this not required. Okay, so in the XPath, within the double quotes, I have just copied and pasted. This is fine. This is fine now. So web element will be located. After locating the web element, it should be clickable, right? So element dot click. Okay. Let us run this. I think it is clicked. Are able to see here?
Yes, sir.
No, it is highlighted, right? So now we have designed our own XPath. Okay. So you can, instead of using tag name, it is okay to use star also. It's okay to use star also, and you need to ensure that you are giving the right value to the right attribute. That's it. The right element will be located. This is an example. Okay. So see, if I want to find an XPath, there are again 2 to 3 ways. There are again 2 to 3 ways. So XPath with single tag is there. XPath with multiple tags is also there. So what is this XPath with single tag? Very easy. How do you locate the element? Let us take this same web page I'm taking. So let us locate this picture. Okay, electronics picture. Okay, this is getting highlighted. Let me copy this. Copy element. Okay. So XPath with single tag. Okay. What is the formula? I mean, what is the syntax? Double forward slash. You can use the tag name, right? What is the tag name? IMG. opening bracket, and you need to use symbol. What is the attribute name that I can use? Anyone give me one attribute name?
Alt, sir.
Alt. Okay. Alt. Anything you can use. Okay, let us go for title. Okay. Title equal to within the single quotes. So this is the value, right? Value. Okay. With a single tag, you have an option to use with multiple tags also. So that's what the query says. So with single tag, this is what it is. With multiple tags, firstly, you go with the attribute name and the value, followed by the another attribute name and the value, so that this particular XPath will be more stronger, right? It cannot be broken, right? Do you agree with this?
Yes,
If
sir.
you adding one more attribute name, this combination will be probably, it appears only once, right? You cannot see any duplicates. You cannot witness any. Most of the time, duplicates will be skipped, right? You want to keep the XPath very much stronger. This is the way with multiple tags. Same thing, you will just append another tag. What is another tag left? So as Sudhir said, alt, right? @alt equal to, you give this in the single quotes. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Right? So let us copy the same thing. Okay, first let us copy the single one, and let us see its functionality. Then we can go for double one. Let's see what is happening if I click this. Again, if I click this, it is just moving to the next page. Even the picture has a link. Okay, it is navigating us to the next page. Not one picture as well as the particular name electronics. Right? So I can give the XPath here directly, single tag. Let's see. That is, I think it is clicked, I guess. It is getting highlighted, no? Click it, no? Are able to witness?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So single tag we have understood. So what with multiple tag means, just append this to keep the XML, to keep the XPath little bit stronger. Okay. It is also going to fetch the same results. So in the simple web pages, you don't see it as an advantage, but in the complex web pages, you definitely see it as an advantages. Right? Clicking, no, I'm not clicking anything. It is happening automatically. Understood? And about this multiple tag?
Yes, sir.
Now you can also deal with XPath with and or operator. So this is just like multiple tags, guys. So see the same example if I take, you just use and in between. Okay, a kind of wildcard selection. So you want to ensure that, okay, if you're using the the attribute names, okay, the particular img tag should have both. Then only the web element is going to locate it. It should have both. If at least one attribute is getting failed, do you think that it will fail, right? At least one attribute is not getting located, or if you are giving a wrong attribute, definitely it will fail, right? Do you think that this is equivalent to this one? Hello?
Yes, sir.
But sometimes if for example, what example I can give? Okay. See, let us take this. So the use cases I'm telling. Okay. So I'm using the OR operator here, right? Do you know stopwatches? Hello? Stopwatch.
Yes,
Stop.
sir.
Okay. So I mean sometimes they don't have any button that is actually going to define its functionality. You just hit this. Okay. and the time starts, and if you again hit the same button, the time stops, right? So this is just the functionality of this button, right? It is designed in such a way that you don't get to see this functionality directly. Okay, it is just clickable by nature, but it is not identified by nature, which means you don't see start or stop. If you click it, okay, action starts. If you click it again, action stops, and again if you click it again, starts. This is the cycle, right, that you see. Let us consider the same topic, same concept. We apply the same concept with this Xpath. Okay, so whenever you want to identify these buttons, this hidden functionalities or these hidden web element names, don't you think that I can give the title and I can use the value either start or at any point of time this element will be identified? Hello? If I use
Yes, sir.
if I use logical or just replace this. Okay, just say that somewhere there is an image img tag. Somewhere in your code there is an img tag. You want to touch this button. Okay, this is a functionality, right? And inside the img tag, and you keep the array title as, okay, watch something like this. Okay, the value is going to be what? Something like start, right? Or again array some other value, right? Equal to stop. So in this case, don't you think that this logical operator is more useful? No matter what the functionality is happening behind the scenes, when this button is clickable by nature, it could be doing this starting operation, or it could be doing this operation. But if you want to identify this, you can. This could be identified with the help of this attribute. Okay, and if the operation is the stop operation, and if this needs to get identified, it could be identified at any point of time. Any one of the element will get identified, right? So our actual job is done now. So getting this, you are getting the use cases. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Now next thing is, okay, we will mostly rare cases you will get this kind of cases. No one will use this or, okay, because we want to be very strong in identifying the element. So you go with and, or you go with this multiple tags. Okay. So I do not have any situation to represent this. If you have, you can do some research and get back to me. Any web page that is representing the situation. Will you do that? This one. Do some research and
Yes, sir.
just try to do this. You will get a lot of insights. Right. Now next, XPath with text, inner text. Okay. So we look at this syntax. So when I say inner text, it is not the text I'm talking about. What every sometimes some tags, some div tags, so many web tags, they do have what they do have the text content, right? For example, let us say, let us identify this electronics. So don't you see that there is a text content here, electronics? Let me copy the element. Copy element. So don't you see that this is the text content? Hello?
Yes, sir.
If you want to
Yes, sir.
identify this kind of scenarios, again this text content is not, this is completely independent, right? It is not assigned to any other attribute name. So no, does it have any attribute? No attribute, right?
No,
And
sir.
if you see, this is also text
Plain
content.
text.
Yeah, this is also text content, but it is assigned to an attribute title. This is a text content. Okay, this is assigned to an attribute href. This is a tag name. Having said this, when I want to use a next path with inner text, okay, you can use this syntax. What is the syntax? This one. So now tell me, just replace this syntax. Okay, this is double Okay. Now replace this. What is the tag name? Yeah, no?
Yeah.
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 The same thing you give. Same thing. Text method. This is text method equal to what text this A tag as?
Electronics.
Electronics. Good. So just place that within the single quotes to escape the regular expression. Now let us see that whether this is getting identified. So do you think that this is clickable by nature? Clickable, right? Clickable, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When I just go back, when I just replace this with something like this. Okay, let us see. Okay, this is identified. I think this is not identified. Huh? Some error we are getting. Unable to locate. 1 minute. Text. Electronics. Is there any space? Let's see. This page is not getting escaped. I'm not sure. Value. Let's see this. Now this is identified. Huh? I think space is also getting considered. I think. Huh? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think I have added spaces. It is working. I think space we should take care of about spaces also. Now it is getting identified. Let us remove. Let us keep the spaces like this. I'll just remove the regular expression to check. It's taking a lot of time. Still running. Okay, it is identified. Huh? Hello. Space is also getting considered. Okay, you should keep space also. I just copied. Okay, I have just copied with the spaces. Okay? I have included these spaces as well. That's why it is working. Okay, what is next? So you can use the contains method. So this contains method starts with method. They are just like text method. So this contains method is like you use the contains method. You just give the exact attribute name. Right? Replace this with attribute name. You just give the partial attribute value. Example. Let us copy this. Let us take this example. What is the tag name? Tag name is img, right? Image. Okay, contains is the method. These are the methods that you can use in the Xpath. And opening bracket, at the rate attribute name. Any attribute name you can take. Let us say ALT as attribute name, comma, in a single quotes, you can give picture. Understand it? Hello? A partial value,
Yes, sir.
partial
Yes.
attribute value. So this would work. You just try this. And also one more thing. You have what Xpath starts with. It starts with is like both are almost same, but starts with for the previous case you use what, you use the partial attribute value. Either you can use picture or you can directly use category. The order is not important. You can pick the text from the middle of a sentence, but starts with, okay, you have to pick from the starting. That same thing, but you use what, you use the starts same thing. Instead of category you have to use the first one. If not using the this one, okay, if you are using for, the element will not get located, because start with method is meant to locate an element, locate an attribute value, and you should give the exact characters, exact starting characters. But the the contents is not like that. You can give the partial value from the middle of the string, from the end of the string, from anywhere you can give, but starts with, it should always be first. These are the options that is available to identify an element using Xpath, right? So at the time of doing projects, you get a lot of insights about this. With a simple application, most of the time these are the basics. You don't go much behind this. Every time the elements will be identified like this only. In some complicated cases, we have to use the combinations of or and. So that's all for the day, and tomorrow we will see what we will hold the Selenium for 1 week. Tomorrow we will complete the maps concepts in Java. Maps concept, and after that this exception handling. Then we will come back to Selenium. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Because
Yes, sir.
the future topics are bit advanced. Sometimes you have to face the maps concept as well as the exception handling concept. So I think completing that will make more sense.